Hello pretties, it's Angela here. In today's video I'm going to be making a rosary ring. Now I haven't made one of these before. I just popped into my head and I said, well, if you can do a bracelet and you can do a pocket rosary, why couldn't you do a rosary ring? So we're going to try this out and see how it turns out. So I'm going to be using some stretchy cord for the ring. I'm going to be using some of these really pretty, they look vintage to me is why I wanted to use them. They look antique, like they look, they have like a golden finish and some white in the background. And I'm going to be using silver metal, so I think that'll mix really, really nice. I'm going to use some little, kind of like little daisy spacers. They're more shaped kind of like a diamond. So I'm going to use those in between the 10 beads. And I'm just going to do 10 because I'm going to have a metal that can be used as the main prayer bead. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by, let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and start off by putting my barrel on. I'm going to put a bead. Oh, I can see these holes are going to be hard to find. You can't see it with the paint. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so I'm going to put a bead and then a spacer. And because, I mean, it's a ring, so you don't have a whole lot of, room. I guess it depends on how big your finger is. But I'm going to just go ahead and put one spacer in between. And I'm going to do that all the way around. And put my 10 beads and 10 spacers in the spacers in between. And then I'll have to measure and see how that fits on my finger. If it's... it's nice that it's stretchy because it gives a little wiggle room. And then if it's too big, you can wear it on a different finger, or if it's a little too tight, you can probably stretch it just a little bit. But, and of course you can always adjust. I mean, you can put some little extra spacers on each side of the barrel if you need it a little longer. So we'll see how it is once I get to the end of here. And this shouldn't take me too long, so I'll go ahead and continue to string it while we're on camera. Usually I don't like to make y'all sit here and watch me string stuff because, when it's a big project, it seems like it takes a little bit of time just to go ahead and get those beads on. And it's just the same kind of repetitive thing over and over again. Just bead and a spacer, bead and a spacer. But I think this is going to be really nice. And like I was saying, if you watched my other tutorial on the rosary bracelet, I've also done a pocket rosary. And I do keep that pocket rosary in my scrub. During the day, I'll reach in and feel it. And it makes me feel good. And so I thought, well, if I have a ring, I can always kind of look at it and see it, If you don't want a metal hanging down your finger, you can always just put a little tiny cross. So you don't have to put anything. You can use this as your main bead to pray on if that's what you want. But I wanted to know that this is a religious piece, and so that is why I'm going to use my dangles. And I'm, hoping that it looks nice once I'm done. Like I said, this is not something that I've tried before. It just kind of pops into my head, and I was like, let me go ahead and give it a go. So we're kind of doing it together here for the first time. And we will see in just a moment. I just have to put on one more spacer and one more bead. And then what's nice is my knot should be able to hide really good in that big hole of the barrel. So that's always a plus. Okay, so let me kind of hold this up and see. I'm really hoping that it's not too big. Yeah, it's probably going to be. Let me see. Yeah, let me see with this finger. It's still going to be a little big. So what I may do is, I think I'm going to take the barrel off. Sadly, I really didn't want to have to do that. I could have used smaller beads. But I love the look of these beads. They look vintage to me. So that's why I'm using them. They are a 6mm, so I probably could have went down to a 4 and then it would have worked perfectly. And I may do another one. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this piece here. Well, I said it was. Where's my scissors? One of these days, my wire cutters are going to come in. And I think they're on a slow boat from China or something. I don't know what's going on. I keep saying that I need to, my other ones to come in. Okay, so this one, I'm going to take off my barrel, and I'm kind of sad about it. But I think what we're going to do, let's see. Let me think. Okay. I think I am going to... How am I going to put my dangles on? Because I wanted to attach it to that barrel. And I want to keep the 10 beads on because I want it to represent the rosary beads, the 10. So, gosh, what can I do to make that work? See, it's perfect without the... Okay. I'm just going to have to suck it up. And just go ahead with it and just, you know, put my charms directly onto my ring. And that's okay. Let's see. Now, I am trying to decide. Let's see. I'm thinking while I make these 2 charms. Let's see. Alright. There's one made, and then let me get the other one. Oh, this one's going to have to go directly on the jump ring, which is okay. Alright, so it doesn't need a head pin. Let me get a... Do I want to put it in between 2 spacers? I think that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm trying to decide if I should string it straight on or add a jump ring. I probably should add a jump ring. Let's see. So I'm going to put a spacer. Well, I could put 2 spacers on one side, but I'm going to go ahead and put a... Well, yeah, because maybe I can get that knot to go in that bead if I'm lucky. Let me put the 2 spacers on this side. Alright, so whenever, you know, we work with stretchy cord, we always want to make sure we stretch it out some. Give it a couple of good tugs. And then make your circle and tie off your knot. Okay. I'm going to give it another 1 or 2 ties, and I don't want to make my knot too big because it's not going to go in that hole, and so I don't want it to be real visible or anything when I'm wearing it. So it is nice that it's on the side of that spacer, and I don't think you're really going to see it, so that's nice. So I'm going to do 1 more knot. Oh, what did I do? Okay, yeah, that's right. I was like, uh-oh, did I go in between my beads? But I didn't. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and snip these off. And I think I'm going to use my scissors because those wire cutters are just ridiculous. Okay. So now, I'm going to try to get it in that bead, but I don't think it's going to go. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not super worried about that little piece. Okay, let me go ahead and get a jump ring. I think I might use a smaller one. Since it's going on my finger, I don't want it to dangle down too long. So let me see how this smaller one works out. Okay, let me hold on to that. Open that up, put on my charms, put on my little cross, and then I'm going to find the middle of those 2 spacer beads that I had in the front. Okay, I'm not sure what happened, the camera cut off, but anyway, I was right in the middle of those 2 spacer beads that I put in the front. And I'm going to go ahead and close that up. Okay. I want to make sure that I close my jump ring up really good because I don't want to lose my charms. I don't want it to slide off of that stretchy cord. And then that is our bracelet, our ring. And it is a little bit big for this finger, but I could probably wear it on my middle finger. Let me put it back on this one. I think I could wear it on that one. Let's see. Okay. So, I guess I'll let it dangle that way so y'all can see it. But that's my ring, and that's my rosary ring. I really like it. Like I said, it's a reminder. Now, when I'm wearing it, of course, it'll dangle down my finger. It'll be like in front of my finger, but I can't hold it that way. My arm doesn't bend that way to try to get it on camera. So I was holding it this way so y'all could see that the charms will dangle down. Of course, it'll flop depending on how you move your finger. Mine is slightly big for that finger, so I will have to watch. I'll have to make sure that I don't lose it. But again, I wanted to use those beads. I could have probably, changed something up. Not sure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I could have just put instead of putting the 2 spaces, I could have left those 2 spaces out and just had this and dangle in the middle, and that would have taken up a little less room. But you live and learn. You can adjust it. Maybe I'll be able to give this one to somebody that has a larger size finger than I do. That's definitely a possibility because these beads are really beautiful. I could have also used 4mm crystals, 4mm beads, and that would have been a little bit better fit for this finger. But the concept is still the same. Some people's fingers are different sizes, so you just adjust your beads. You can go all the way down to a 3mm size crystal and do that as well if you have a really small finger. So this is just a basic, tutorial to show you that you can do a ring as well besides just doing a pocket rosary or a bracelet. I'll add this to the religious collection album in my YouTube group. And on the channel, I'll put it in that album. So if you want to, go back to it to check it out at a later time. It'll be easy to find. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Click on subscribe. Also, click on notifications so that you can be notified every time I upload a video to YouTube. I'm really liking this. Again, if you did, this could also be a really small pocket rosary if you didn't want, a bigger one. But I really like the idea of the ring. I really do. I'm gonna give this to someone that has maybe a size 8 ring finger, and I'll make me a one that's a little bit smaller. But again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I do appreciate every one of your comments. I read them all, and I do respond back. And so, until the next video, guys.